Farley from the Wise Guys sports page and MMA page, and I'm here to break down. I haven't done one in a while. The undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Tyron Woodley. He's 36 years old. He grew up in Ferguson, Missouri, which is a suburb of St. Louis. He's 5'9". He obviously weighs 170 on fight days, and his style is wrestling and boxing. I'm doing this just ahead of the Darren Till fight, but this is just an in general breakdown, as I always do. He has a record of 18-3-1. He has 6 knockouts, 5 subs, and 7 by way of decision. So Tyron is very well rounded, and he can do pretty much everything, however and whenever, because he's such a student of martial arts in general. Also with his side stuff that he does for Fox Sports 1, you know how that goes. But to get it into strength, his dynamic power and his boxing range are his most dangerous weapon. People don't understand that until they fight him. And then they think, oh, he can only wrestle. That's all he can do. He did graduate from Mizzou and was an excellent wrestler at the University of Missouri. His boxing range is devastating. As you can see from the Wonder Boy highlights, he had Wonder Boy in trouble multiple times. And I mean devastating blows. Whether it was kicks, whether it was punches. Tyron is just excellent at everything. He's a well-rounded martial artist. He doesn't truly have a major weakness. He does have certain things that we'll touch on later. But getting back to his strengths, his explosion, it almost looks like the man is sprinting, like a full-on sprint across the octagon. Granted, he puts himself in bad positions where he puts his back to the cage at times to do that. But when you take that into account, like what happened with Koscheck, his back was to the cage. Koscheck didn't think he was really going to do anything from that position, or he just hadn't seen it. And you know what happened from there. Then touching on the fight with Robbie Lawler, he was very patient, but he got straight to the technique. The boxing technique of Tyron Woodley is very underrated, and it's not really something that people understand. It's a lot like Mike Tyson's style, of that peekaboo style of ducking down low and getting his head below his opponent's center line so they can't really tell what he's doing. Most of the time, his explosion is going to make it to where you can't really recover from it, and that's why he's the welterweight champion. He's intelligent, his high fight IQ, and his boxing range, along with his God-given athletic ability, make him exactly what he is, which is the welterweight champion of the world. Now, he's got a monumental task ahead of him with Darren Till, if he does come through that. You have to argue that he's the best welterweight champion we've probably ever seen. And yes, that's with GSP in mind. Tyron is just cleaned out the division. I guess GSP did that as well. But it's who? Yes, it was against Matt Hughes when GSP did it, and the name fighters that we know. But to be able to go one-on-one with Roy, he did lose that one. But to be able to go on one-on-one with Wonder Boy, the best grappler with Damian Maia, the best striker with Stephen Thompson, training with Sage Northcutt. I mean, all these things let you know how good he is. Koscheck, when he was at his peak, was an excellent fighter. You know, people hated him, but he could fight. Have going into fights against Tyron is that he removes their weapon. It's a lot like Floyd. Floyd would find your weapon and then eliminate it, just like Anderson Silva. He's the same kind of way. That's all on his strengths. Let's get into his weaknesses. He does a lot of the things that make him so good also make him weak, or those are where his weak points are, where he waits because he's so patient and he's adapting and reading. Sometimes he's standing there. He can't do that. He can't do that against certain fighters. He did that to Nate Marquardt. Not that he's an amazing striker, but he got caught waiting. So that same type of thing can translate into each and every fight. Now, I'm doing this just ahead of the Darren Till fight. He can't stand there and wait on Darren, because Darren will hit you with that left hand. And that left hand is about the fastest thing in mixed martial arts. So from range, if he's hitting you with that, let's put it this way. He can't stand there the way that he was against Stephen Thompson, because Darren's more aggressive. Wonder Boy is the best striker in the UFC, like beyond measure, but he's also passive because he walks you into things. That's just the nature of karate. You know, it's a self-defense art. You know, shout out to Integrity Martial Arts. But that's our foundation. But and jumping back onto what his weaknesses are, he cannot do that against Darren. I'm doing this again ahead of the Darren Till fight. He can't do that against Darren. He's going to get put to sleep. So he has to get in range, and he has to stay in range. And if he stays in range, Tyron's going to win. So that's a toss-up. That's that. If you like my breakdowns, throw us some more names. Throw us some likes, comments, and subscriptions. And anybody you want to see broken down that hasn't been broken down already, just tell the Wise Guy Sports page and we'll get right on it. Bless up, guys.